Back on the stand, the ex-girlfriend of Sean Diddy Combs under cross-examination in his sex trafficking and racketeering trial, testifying under the pseudonym Jane. Combs' lawyers are trying to counter her testimony about trauma and forced sex, arguing she benefited from the lavish gifts during their relationship, including designer jewelry and handbags. Combs has pleaded not guilty, says he never forced anyone to have sex. ABC News contributor and trial attorney Brian Buckmeyer joining me now live. Brian, the defense argues that Jane was a willing partner in all of this. So how convincing is their argument?
Yes, okay, we started a little bit late today. We started at 1 p.m. Eastern time, and so we haven't really gone that deep into Jane's testimony. What we've got so far is that the defense on cross-examination is showing numerous text messages and also asking Jane questions about her participation in these hotel nights, as she described them, that showing text messages where she initiated conversations, wanting to have sexual relations with Sean Combs, and even showing that there were instances where Sean Combs said that she did not need to participate in hotel nights. And in 2022, there was at least a 2-month stretch where there were no hotel nights, and it shows that there was this back and forth, and she did have some control and consented to some of these relationships. I think it's trying to show a different side from what we saw in the government's case during direct examination, where they showed these text messages, but she was allowed to explain her feelings behind them, not just the messages themselves.
Got it. So we've also learned about potential problem with one of the jurors now in this case. What do you know?
So juror number 6 is a 41-year-old African-American or black male who, during voir dire, said that he knew some of the facts of the case, but he could put that aside and still consider the evidence in this case. Now, it seems like the AUSA or the government has come forward and said that there seems to be a lack of candor. Now, lack of candor is a very legal phrase. It doesn't necessarily mean that a person is lying intentionally. It could mean that you are omitting information, both with or without intent. Like if someone was to ask you, what'd you do today, or what'd you eat for breakfast? And they just said, well, I only had one piece of toast. Them neglecting to say what they drank or whatever it may be is not necessarily a lie, but it could be considered lack of candor. So there's a broad sense as to what this could be. But Tenny Garagos pushed back on the AUSA's reference to the lack of candor and said, this is a thinly veiled attack to try to knock off another African-American juror on the jury. And the judge is going to listen to both sides, see what the issue is, and ultimately decide if an alternate takes juror number 6's spot in this case.
All right. We're tracking it right there with you. Thanks, Brian. And for more on the trial, you can catch our show, Burden of Proof, the case against Diddy, every night, 5:30 p.m. Eastern, right here on ABC News Live. And then you can get Brian's podcast, Bad Rap, the case against Diddy, wherever you listen to your podcasts.